certain people get so triggered by child free by choice.
Now, when you say that this doesn't affect anyone else, you know that's a lie. That is one of the biggest lies on the planet. That is a fantasy or delusion that's shared to help people not feel as bad about a choice that literally is destroying several countries right now, right? You do understand that your choice that doesn't affect anybody is literally destroying whole countries right now as we speak, right? It doesn't matter if you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you think it's fair or not. In order to have a safe and stable society, there are certain ingredients that need to be put in there, whether you agree or not, whether you think it's right, whether you think that existence is being fair to you or not. So let me ask you a question. Which do you think is more important? Fancy cars, dinners at a five-star restaurant, luxury handbags, or our collective ability to walk through a parking lot at night safe and not have problems which could end our life? Because, quite frankly, there is a choice there that society wide that we are making that is creating monsters because we are not allocating resources in a wise way. And it is a thing where instead of luxury handbags, we could be having more safety in our parking lots. It is absolutely certain. Now, because let me tell you why. If you have a violent monster here, more often than not, the reason why you're having that violent monster is because person after person after person, when they were a baby, they didn't have the love, nurturing, guidance, and teaching that they needed, especially in the first 3 or 4 years of life. If you don't have a certain amount of love, caring, and resources given, you're going to have a person that is many, many, many times more likely to become a violent monster later. And so, yes, you have to understand that well balanced, responsible people need certain resources, money, time, and love to be given to them as they're growing, or we all suffer. Because a society is made up of people that need to be educated, kind, well balanced, good, decent people. That doesn't just happen. A society that wants to have its members be decent people needs to understand that we can't just say, hey, whatever happens, happens. Because whatever happens, happens means that look at what is happening right now across the planet. The countries that have resources have women that sit back and more average than not just enjoy those resources and have fewer kids, and the size of the country shrinks and shrinks and shrinks, and the more that people make that decision, the faster it shrinks. And then you're looking at countries which have the fewest resources having the most kids. Now, this isn't about race. This is about the fact that you need a certain amount of resources and time and love per kid. And when you're having a world where you're throwing so many people into existence without properly supporting them, you're going to have a world with violence and monsters that can't be controlled. So, once again, for the people in the back that didn't hear it, there's ingredients to making responsible people. A civilization that wants to continue knows it's in its best interest to give those resources. And so here is how it would look in advanced civilization if we ever get there. If we don't want to destroy ourselves, if we don't want to keep creating monsters that are so violent that we can't be safe, here is what's going to happen. One example, you're going to have an educational system that is going to be probably free for all, including college. And I understand there's a lot of people say, well, it's your choice to go to college or not. Well, guess what? Do you want it to be someone's choice on whether they get to be a responsible and helpful member of civilization? Do you really want that? Because if you don't have that, you can which is better? spending billions of dollars on militaries to control people who are violent, or making sure they're not violent in the first place. Because, quite frankly, if you having a luxury handbag is more important than your wife not being able to walk through a parking lot without possibly having her life ended, if you think that's more important, then I have a bridge to sell you. So here is what is going on if you're going to have an advanced civilization that is stable. College is free or close. And it's actually useful. It's not something where you're getting this advanced gender studies degree that does nothing. It's something that gives you trades, it gives you realistic experience that society actually needs, not given by people that are just there to spread propaganda. And so that's the first thing. Second thing is there are financial benefits for women to have a certain number of kids while in college. And colleges are absolutely set up for women to be able to have kids and to spend enough time with their kids in the formative years. And it is a thing to where the assignments will be spread around the childbearing process in a way that is fair, that lets the woman continue on with studies, but yet also lets that child absolutely not just be an afterthought because of how busy the mother is. So the society understands that every child needs to have time, love, caring, teaching as they're growing. And when you get to the age of being in college, you need to have every person given resources to become a very productive member of civilization. Because guess what? We all benefit from people that are responsible, and we all suffer from people that aren't. And this is something that is a non-negotiable. If a civilization has these ingredients, it will be more stable. And if a civilization doesn't, it's going to be less stable. Remember, 2 kids per family or more, on average, is the whole even level of civilization. Having 1 billion kids per family when you don't have the resources for it only increases the likelihood that violent monsters are created. And so you need to bring down the number of kids having in situations without resources. You need to make sure that there's a certain amount of time and money per kid. Because at the end of the day, that's all you have. If you have it, the kid has the best chance of becoming responsible and well-balanced. If you don't have it, you're going to have violent monsters. So which would you rather do? Spend your money on defense? Spend your money on handbags and on cars? Or make sure that civilization is safe and stable and it actually continues? Because guess what? It's not your choice to determine what reality actually is. Reality is what reality is. You have ingredients to raise kids in the right ways, and your society will be stable. If not, it won't. It's that simple.